all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business. Good morning and happy Friday to you. You're listening to the daily morning update from Bloomberg Quint and I'm Alex Matthew. Today's the 28th of June. The Reserve Bank of India released its financial stability report late last evening. In it, as the name suggests, the central bank talks about the state of affairs in the financial sector. In yesterday's edition, the RBI said that it expects bad loans to continue to fall in the current financial year as an early turnaround in asset quality picks up pace. NPAs of scheduled commercial banks are expected to decline to 9% by March 2020 from 9.3% in March 2019 under the baseline scenario. The RBI also observed that recent pressure faced by non-bank financial companies has brought in greater market discipline in the space, which indicates that the central bank remains averse to the idea of providing any special support to these firms. In more regulatory news, the Securities and Exchange Board of India held its board meeting yesterday and discussed a host of prickly issues. Among the more important decisions that were made yesterday, the SEBI approved revised norms that require listed companies to seek shareholder approval for royalty payments exceeding 5% of consolidated annual turnover. Apart from that, the SEBI also announced that promoters of listed companies raising funds from mutual funds or non-bank lenders through structured obligations, pledge of shares, non-disposal undertakings, corporate or promoter guarantees, and various other complex structures will now need to disclose these transactions to the stock exchanges and specify the reason for doing so if a certain threshold is breached. Air India's provisional loss widened to 7,635 crore rupees in the financial year ended March 2019, even as the government infused more money into the national carrier. The government infused nearly 4,000 crore rupees into the airline in the last financial year. A press release from the Civil Aviation Ministry said that the government had given its approval for the sale of Air India after it showed an improvement in its financial and operational performance. This came just hours after the Civil Aviation Minister told Parliament that the present economic environment was not conducive for Air India's sale. A series of U.S. renewable energy incentives violated international trade rules according to the World Trade Organization, which ruled in favor of India, according to information disclosed on its website. This comes just hours before a possible meet between Donald Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the G20 summit in Osaka today. The WTO supported most of India's allegations that the US imposed illegal domestic content requirements that favored domestic products in the renewable energy sector. On his way to Osaka, Trump tweeted that recent increases in Indian duties on American goods were unacceptable and that the tariffs must be withdrawn. In international markets, stocks in Asia saw a quiet open today ahead of the highly anticipated US-China presidential meeting that is scheduled to take place tomorrow and that could determine the next chapter in the trade war between the world's two largest economies. US stocks ended mixed once again, with the Dow ending marginally in the red and the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq climbing 0.4 and 0.7% respectively. With that, it's over to Darshan Mehta for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning, Darshan. How are we looking at the end of the week?
Hi Alex, good morning everyone. Yesterday the market had a weak closing. Today also global cues are weak. The SGX Nifty is indicating a negative outlook. But some stocks that we need to watch out for Cox & Kings. The company repaid two investors 50 crores out of the 200 crores that was dated on June 26. The company says that the cash flow mismatch led to the default and the remaining 150 crores will be paid through internal accruals and asset monetization. Sadbhav Infra will be in focus. CARE cuts the rating of the subsidiary, that is the Rohtak-Hisar Tollway, to D from BB+. The downgrade is due to poor liquidity and debt coverage indicators. Accenture came out with its number. They reported an 8.4% revenue growth at the top end of the guidance. The full year FY19 revenue guidance has been raised from 6.5 to 8.5% to 8 to 9%. Credit Suisse is questioning the sustainability of growth acceleration for Indian IT companies, given the slowdown that we've seen in Accenture numbers, and they believe that the slowing revenue growth and weakness in order book is concerning for Accenture. CLSA, on the other hand, believes that overall strong broad-based growth is positive for the Indian IT companies. BHEL will be in focus. NMDC has served notice to BHEL for termination of contract for raw material handling system. The project was cancelled due to delays of more than 5 years from the original completion date. Watch out for some of the Bangalore-based real estate companies. According to News 18, Karnataka government is planning to deny any permission for new building apartments for a period of 5 years until the water crisis in the city is resolved. So companies like Shobha, Purvankara, Brigade, Prestige Estates, all of them will be in focus. 8K Miles results have been delayed now to July 18th from June 28th because the company says that the audit of subsidiaries is still in progress. Aster DM, again, True North was seller. They sold in 1.6% stake. Rimco India acquired that stake. Barclays sold in 35 lakh shares in Syntex Plastic. And among the brokerages, HSBC has upgraded Alembic Pharma to a buy and a target price of 590. They expect operating margins to grow steadily despite cost pressures on R&D, and they upgrade on recovery in India growth and US sales pickup. And finally, Citi has cut target price on Maruti to 7,400 from 8,000, maintaining a buy, and they've cut the target to adjust for weak first quarter numbers. But there's much more you need to know before trade actually starts. For that, log on to our website, bloombergquint.com, and click on the All You Need to Know tab, and you will be prepared for morning trade.
Thanks, Darshan. And thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a lovely day and an even better weekend ahead.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.